Hey, welcome into the channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me always. I super appreciate you. So happy to have you here. My name is Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to look at your energy for today. So let's get into it. Things have been a little bit messy lately. We had a full moon last week in Pisces. Kind of brought up a lot of things I feel like this is a lot of stuff you're already dealing with, but some triggering, right? So things are popping up that are trying to draw you back into old habits, the past, things that you're really working intentionally to leave behind. And it feels a little overwhelming. Today, the energy in the astrology isn't as intense as it was during this time last week. And we also will see that intensity heighten as the week progresses yet again. We're going through this cycle where we get kind of overloaded with lessons, with triggerings, what we're supposed to be learning, and then we get a little bit of rest and reprieve. So hopefully walking into this week, you're feeling a little bit more grounded and settled. We've been having a lot of earth element to help cater towards that in the collective. Earth is that principle of just being balanced and centered in the practical reality, right? Just understanding what's going on, who and what you're dealing with, and then using wisdom from what you've learned in order to kind of navigate through. We also have the air element heightened today as well, which really helps give us that wisdom, that intellect to navigate through things, to make better choices that are more in alignment with us, even when it's like in the harder situations, right? That's why I start out with these energy cleansings, a little blessing for you, a little blessing for me, set the tone, set the vibe of the reading. Clear out any blocked, unwanted, negative, heavier energies that might be hindering you. And this is a really good time to set your own intention, right? So if you would like specific questions answered or messages received from Spirit, now is the time to give that over, set that intention, and be open to receive. That's the best way to personalize these collective readings, because they are collective readings, right? I do personal readings. If you are interested in me looking at your own specific situation, definitely hit me up. All that info is in the description box below. I do tarot, astrology, mediumship, as well as energy healing and wellness consultations, some of that mind, body, soul action, helping us align with who we authentically are and what really is for your highest and best. All right, with that, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for the highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, overwhelm, impatience. Release it from our being. Help us to see and understand the messages clearly, and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love, Mama Love. Okay, so today I was hearing this thing as I was preparing, transmuting the energy. Like I was talking about, you have a sense of what's going on. It's like this been there, done that energy. Cycles are coming up to test and to kind of repeat themselves to see what you're going to choose, how you're going to handle it, if you are going to revert back to those old patterns or really kind of shooting yourself in the foot, so to speak. We just moved into Libra season. Happy birthday to anybody who's celebrating this month. I hope you have a fabulous, blessed season. But Libra does rule partnerships. So partnerships are coming back into focus. And right now we have this cluster of Black Moon Lilith, the South Node, which is all about our karma, and the Sun in Libra. And the South Node is what kind of pulls us back into those comfortable patterns. And Black Moon Lilith can be kind of tricky, right? She has this trickster type energy where is really good at playing into the illusion of something or someone, making it seem different than what it is to kind of reel you in. From Ash, I love this. We talked about this yesterday in the weekly reading, that kind of burning away of the phoenix. There is change and transformation afoot. You know this. You can see it happening in certain areas of your life. And there is this call to really like burn away, right? Burn away what is not serving you, right? Those places that you want to be reborn, so to speak. Have an opportunity to wipe the slate clean and invite something in that's more of what you wanted, right? Like that actually will bring you happiness and fulfillment. That isn't just a space filler, so to speak, right? Something that kind of seems good, that is kind of superficial on the outside, but in reality, it's not as fabulous as what it paints itself to be. There is tension with Venus squared to Pluto today. So that resistance, the resistance to being honest and authentic with ourselves, with those around us, in regards to the change, really cleansing and releasing what is not serving you, right? We've talked about this. It does feel like this continual process, right? Just how I was talking about in the very beginning, where the energy amplifies, intensifies, and then we get a little bit of peace and calm. It's the same, like where we have to burn away and cleanse, burn away and cleanse, with the hope that we can complete this karmic cycle, essentially. Karmic cycle meaning where you need to be a little bit more cognizant about where you're getting tripped up, where certain lessons need to be taken to heart, or else that change is not going to manifest. Being able to see the end result. And that really is the name of the game today, right? So Spirit's asking you, overarching energy is remember, connecting, and it's governed by Rosemary, which is really good for our mental, our thinking, that clarity I was talking about in the very beginning. Like I said, we do have a lot of air element today, air and earth, which is going to give us that grounding stability as well as smart decision making, because you feel a little, I don't want to say fragile, but you feel a little bit hesitant. You feel like uncertain, maybe is a better word. And there's a lot of fear behind it. We're seeing this underlying theme of anxiety because there is resistance. There's resistance to some of these changes in terms of how it has to play out. The hard conversations, the things that you have to face that aren't very comfortable, you know, that are challenging you, that are really kind of forcing you to put your money where your mouth is, right? If you do want this change, then you do have to embrace it. And there is this part of you that feels unsteady, uncertain about what that's going to look like. We're starting off with the Justice card, which is ruled by Libra. I love that. The cards never lie, right? They always kind of showcase exactly that energy of being more diplomatic, trying not to stress yourself out too much, because there is a rebalancing of the scales. And anytime we see change happening, that rebalancing happens as well. That's why there is change. If we look at the principles of manifestation or those values of silence and dynamism, change is what helps find that rebalancing. But you are dealing with someone who is intense, who is aggressive. The Emperor is Aries energy, someone who's very self-focused, who's not interested in letting you win, is what I'm hearing. They're hoping that they have some power, some control over you. Yeah, that they can lord on top of you in terms of being in control of how things play out in your life. There's this heavy hand of dictating how they want you to move, what they want you to do, how they want things to look. It's all about them. And it really is preventing this fulfillment I was talking about. 10 of Pentacles is one of the best cards you can get in the deck, and right now that's being blocked. And yeah, that might not all be on your shoulders. There's other things at play. We have 3 major arcana on the board, so big change. It feels heavy, right? It feels overwhelming. You feel like you're not getting the benefit of the doubt. And Spirit's saying, okay, you got to stay balanced to the best of your ability. I know that's easier said than done, right? Temperance is a really hard energy to kind of sift through because it requires us to find grounding and peace, emotional stability, even when someone is coming after you. And it definitely feels like this Emperor energy has an agenda. You could be dealing with someone or something with the courts, the legal system. Justice rules the legal system as well. This could also be hashing out contracts. Let's look a little bit more. But we got the Death card, Scorpio. That's that changes, those changes I was talking about. Pluto energy as well. Pluto goes direct next month. It's going to finally settle into Aquarius. So this is something that we've really been pushing forward towards. And interesting, I mean, it's all major arcana on the board aside from the 10 of Pentacles. This is a lot. You really have to look at this. And I'm hearing with this Temperance, remember how you approached it in the past, remembering that, and taking a different approach. I know. And maybe sometimes, again, that's easier said than done. But looking at it through a new lens and not through the lens of emotionality, not through the lens of stress and fear and pain. It goes back to that original message of transmutation. When we transmute something, we're able to not only soften the energy, but it's almost like an absorption, right? Whatever someone is trying to throw at us, that negativity, that pain, the sadness, the triggering, etc., our response becomes one that is so strong and powerful, it is able to absorb all that negativity and still have a positive outcome, still have an outcome that is balanced towards you. And it's tricky today because you are feeling a lot of the feels around what is happening. Decisions do need to be made, and there's a lot of uncertainty about what that's even gonna look like. You have a lot of options on the table is what I'm seeing. There's a lot of different ways that you can approach this. And you do have to look at those in a very diplomatic way without the triggering, unfortunately. Again, easier said than done. But take your time, find peace. Find peace in the process. A decision doesn't have to be made today. There is room, there is space to grieve the sadness and the pain around this situation. Because it was important to you. It was important to you for some time. And unfortunately, it's taken a turn for the worse, and you've had to turn your back on this. But this person, this situation is not really willing to work with you. And if anything, they're trying to make things way harder. But what I love is your outcome is this change, and change in a way that is giving you cleansing, that is bringing you release, maybe even bringing you something you've been hoping for some time. Like a complete renewal, right? Like I was talking about in the very beginning, wiping the slate clean. And not necessarily to start again with this individual, because I feel like there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear around this change happening and what it actually means. There is a little bit of drama tied into how this person is acting or behaving. A little temper tantrum energy, not getting what they want. Okay, who's this? So we have someone else showing up to see how things move. Yeah, so there is another offer on the table, and I do feel like this person is connected to what is happening here. I feel like this is a different person than this Emperor energy we saw in the very beginning. We have King of Swords, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. This is someone to see who's waiting to see how it all unfolds. I do feel like they have more information for you, especially around this Emperor type energy, but they're waiting. They're not 100% certain about approaching you. You guys might have left on like bad terms, or you're just not talking right now, or they don't really know how to approach this situation. They're trying to be as diplomatic as possible about it. And there is a desire to work with you, but they're not certain how you're going to receive it, is what I'm seeing. Because there is a lot of repetitive cycles also showing up today, where you're seeing people, their choices for who and what they are, or there's more clarity around it. This is someone who has been really on the defensive. I feel like they do have a piece of information to tell you, but they're waiting. They need more information first on their end before they're going to be approaching you. And I do believe this is directly connected to this change, to this cleansing, right? Because we're getting Ace of Swords. And so we see that like clarity is given to you. Places where it's been kind of fuzzy, hard to fill in the gaps, so to speak. That Neptune is in Pisces in retrograde, so it makes that illusion a real thing, right? Like it's hard to kind of sift through what is true and what is not. But I feel like this person owes it to you, this King of Swords energy. They owe you something, that's for certain. They're afraid though too, like I said, because they don't really know what response they're going to get from you. And I feel like what they're bringing to you is kind of heavy. Not unexpected, but it's like not fun information. It's like things you already can sense and feel, but then you have to actually deal with the pain of whatever this person's situation is trying to do to you, right? Trying to be the one on top, trying to be the one in control. So listen to your own guidance and direction. Listen to guidance and direction that comes in around you. I'm hearing that there is going to be someone who's very smart. They have a lot of wisdom to give you. A lot of, it's a good opinion is what I'm hearing. And it's going to be something that really helps you thrive, that does take you away from the toxicity, from the BS. Tapping into, I love this, the light codes. Tune into the light. Remember your truth. Initiation, right? So remembering that even when people are throwing things at us, where'd that guy go? This Aries friend. When people are throwing things at us left and right, it doesn't mean that that is going to be the end result. It's gaslighting is what I'm hearing. That's what this person is doing. It's smoke and mirrors. We saw this too in the weekly reading. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Someone who wants you to be more afraid. Someone who wants you to think things are one way when in fact they're not. And I feel like this King of Swords knows this person's tactics. I feel like this person has information around this that will help you. And they're sitting on it, but I do think they will eventually come to you. But today it's more about being patient. Sorry, right? Being patient in the process. Connecting with those parts of you that remember like who you are, right? Your courage, your strength, your empowerment, connecting to those parts of you that give you the capacity to handle the messier things. And finding magic in the simple, small moments throughout the day. It's going to help enliven this 10 of Pentacles energy, feeling grounded, supported, stable, safe in your environment. And you'll be able to kind of connect with that vision of what the change is going to look like. You can sense it, you can feel it, it is coming. But unfortunately, we're in this weird, whether it's a testing phase or just things coming to head, things climaxing and needing to sort themselves out. We still got to address it. We still got to deal with it, unfortunately, regardless. And I do hope that these helped. I hope that these readings give you some guidance, insight to kind of see between the lines, see things that maybe aren't as apparent on the surface, or just confirm what you're already sensing and feeling. Definitely drop comments below if it does. I love to hear. I love to connect. Share and a little love, TLC. Thank you for all the love and support you bring to the channel, especially if you've made it this far in the video. It really blesses my heart. Sending all the love and blessings your way.